I know that I'm up here today to welcome you all. I'm up here to thank you all for being here, but as I process through all of these emotions that I'm going through, sadness, emptiness, questions, anger, hurt, hate, it's hard to welcome you to that. It's hard to feel thankful for that. But my role today is focus on the celebration of lives cut short, lives that people that sat next to us yesterday, we talked very recently about whether it was prom or graduation or what's next as you process through the next phase of life, and we don't get to do that sadly. It's really hard to stand here before you in this role to find the right words to feel. So as I turn it over and we celebrate the lives of 3 students that I care deeply about and their families, and I know sorry does not cut it, it doesn't change, but I do want to try to focus on the positives and remember the great times, and that is why we're here, to remember the lives of Brandon Vega, Isabella Leon, and Haley Nudson. At this time, I would like to turn it over for a song from my friend and my colleague, Val Gisson.
saying, bro? We want a couple more games to that playoff for the ultimate too. And we lost to season bad too, bro. But everyone last year, bro. Not lost game. Trying to go to college, so I thought too, bro. Everyone got it. Yeah, bro. So, I'm down with basketball in the ground. I need it. It's still trying to get better. Dude, it's like I feel the throbbing in the front, the throbbing in the
Non-responsive. Hi, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Lakeside completed her multiple rounds of CPR, and she passed away that day. I have very difficult news to share with everyone else that I am passing away.
I are here for the sentencing in the Torres matter. The court is ready to proceed. This is the day and time and place for sentencing. Mr. Torres, as a criminal judge, I look at the audience and I see victims of crime every day. I see the pain on their faces. I was able to look into the audience and see the victims, families, and their friends during the trial. They are living with this probably the worst moment of their lives. I'm able to see the defendant's family experience pain and heartbreak as well. During the trial, the jury, the families of the victims, as well as Ms. Torres' own family, had to see the horrific pictures of the crash and the injuries to the victims. I look at all of them several times, and they're crying and upset, and the testimony that the court heard on the days that the defendant, Mr. Torres, horrific behavior after a heavy night of drinking. On April 30th, Mr. Torres decided to invite a group of friends and have a party that allowed underage drinking. Mr. Torres Jr. friends spent the night at Lodge Point and woke up with severe hangovers. And as you head into Lakeside High School, you continue to consume alcoholic beverages while driving your friends to school. As you enter the school grounds, there was a head-on crash which occurred with another vehicle. As a result of that crash, 3 occupants lost their lives and 5 suffered moderate to severe injuries. Mr. Torres, you have killed 3 people. Due to your atrocious, self-centered, and your under the influence decisions, you not only cost you your freedom, but you negatively affected the lives of numerous families. And that's the families, not only the 5 victims that were injured, but forever Brandon, Isabella, and Haley's families. And they will never get to experience life events that families enjoy and celebrate. Just typical life events such as graduations, weddings, family birthdays, and holidays. The 5 individuals who survived will also have memories for a lifetime of their trauma and the pain that they continue to experience daily. The jury found guilty of 1 count of vehicle code section 23-153A, which is driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol, causing great bodily injury. They also found guilty of 1 count of 23-153B, which is driving under the influence of drugs and alcohol while under the influence of 0.08 or above blood alcohol level and causing great bodily injury. And lastly, the jury convicted you of 3 counts of Penal Code Section 191.5A, gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated, and vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated carries a punishment of up to 10 years. At this time, the court is sentencing you to state prison for a term of 40 years. You're to be transported forthwith to the Department of Corrections. Deputy, please take Mr. Torres into custody.
We'll stand up and everyone back.
name is Isabella. I'm a student at Lakeside High School, and I participated in the 50 Minutes program. The reason why I chose to be in the 50 Minutes program is because 5 or 6 years ago, my family got into a car accident with a drug driver and was walking away. And I had to witness it, so it kind of took an impact on me. And being able to show other students and other people what impact it does make on drug drivers, killing people, impact other people's families, and not just your decision. I think this program should stay in our district because it's an eye opener for other people, and I hope that all the students or anybody watching this, although you guys are in it, I hope you guys get like impacted by watching it and knowing that it's worth doing and things could happen to you. I'd like to thank Ms. Allie, Ms. Perez, and Ms. Lee for allowing me the chance to participate in this program, and on behalf of everybody else, I think they'd like to thank you too because they made a big impact in all of our lives and chose to really matter.
At this, at At this time, I would like to invite Haley Nudson's mom, Connie Allen, to say a few words.
Thank you for being here today to celebrate the life of someone so special, so radiant, and so unforgettable, my daughter, Haley Nudson. This is one of the hardest things I've had to do, to eulogize my own child. There are no words that can fully capture what it means to lose Haley. She was a light in my life, in all our lives. Her laughter, her smile, and her beauty are things I will miss. That smile of hers could change the entire mood of a room. It was the kind of smile that made you feel like everything was going to be okay, even when it wasn't. Haley had a way about her. She was strong, she was smart, she was compassionate, and she had that amazing sense of humor that always kept us on our toes. You couldn't be around her for more than 5 minutes without her saying, bruh, no yeah, hello, or love ya, usually delivered with that perfect amount of sarcasm, love, and maybe a little sass. It became her trademark, and honestly, I can still hear it in my head. I'm going to miss her so much. I'm going to miss our conversations, our dancing, our laughing. I'm going to miss watching her grow into an incredible woman she was becoming, full of dreams, full of adventure, of heart. Haley touched people deeply. She gave love freely. And though her time here was far too short, her impact was enormous. Each of us here carries a piece of her with us, whether it's a memory, a laugh, a word she said, or simply the way she made us feel seen and loved. Haley, my sweet girl, my heart aches without you, but I will hold on to your smile, your beauty, and your voice saying, no, yeah, and love ya, only the way you could. I will carry you with me always. I'd like to end with a poem. Those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day. Unseen, unheard, but always near. Still loved, still missed, and very dear. Wishing us hope in the midst of sorrow, offering comfort in the midst of pain, both today and tomorrow. We love you forever.
Thank you, Miss Allen. I would now like to call up our guest speaker, Miss Kelly Montalvo.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kelly Montalvo. I just want to say that I'm very thankful that your school has put on this event. It is very impressive, and I hope you're able to take something back into your own lives. I'm here today to honor my son, Benjamin. I want to tell you a little about Benjamin and our story in the hope that maybe something about us will touch you. It's very hard to stand here today because in many ways I relive the nightmare. However, I honestly believe you are exactly the group I hope to share with because you all have so much life ahead of you and you can make a difference. I would never want our story to become yours. No parent should bury their child. No brother should have to carry a casket. And no friend should watch their friend die. Benjamin is the youngest of our 4 sons. Though I absolutely love the name Benjamin, his older brothers convinced him his name was really Bean and his middle name was Dip. Consequently, everybody called him Bean Dip, and it stuck. Bean was a happy, easygoing kid. He loved sports, played football, soccer, and baseball. I'd like to say he was a straight-A student, but he had pretty average grades. What Bean did get straight A's in was socializing, talking, girls, and friends. Benjamin was kind and stood up for what was right. He always stood for the underdog, the kid who was struggling or being bullied, or the kid who was sitting alone. Shortly after he was killed, a boy we didn't even know called to express his condolences, but mostly to tell me what Benjamin meant to him. This boy's name is Jake, and he went to school with Bean. Jake said that in high school he was considered a loner and was awkward. He often ate lunch alone and was frequently bullied. One day Benjamin noticed him sitting alone in the cafeteria and walked over and sat with him. Jake thought maybe Bean was there to start something, so he kind of got up and got ready to move. But Ben just sat there and started to eat his lunch. I'm not sure if they ever spoke that day, but according to Jake, from then on, he ate lunch with Bean and his friends. He said Benjamin made him feel less lonely. To me, helping somebody feel less lonely is huge. There are other stories about Benjamin and the kind of person he was, but this shows me his heart. I'll be forever grateful to a boy I don't even know, named Jake, for reaching out to give us this beautiful memory of my son. On June 11th, 2020, a little more than a month after turning 21 and right as COVID hit, Benjamin was riding his bicycle with 2 of his close friends to go meet his next oldest brother, Chandler, for dinner. These guys all work nights, so dinner was late for them. Bean and his friends were off work that night and decided to go for a bike ride. They were supposed to grab some food and meet near their high school, which was close to where his brother Chandler worked. They never made it. Benjamin was struck almost in front of his high school, Centennial High School, by a drunk, high, texting driver named Naomi Villado, who never even stopped. Instead, she backed up while Bean's friends screamed for her to stop and tried to chase her down. She left my beautiful boy to die in the street in the arms of his best friend. For that, I will never forgive her. Benjamin's oldest brother, Anthony, said it best in speaking directly to Bean's killer in court. You are a heartless coward. Anyone with any sort of conscience would have stopped. If the situation were reversed, my brother would have stopped and comforted her to her last breath. When Bean and his friends never showed up that night to meet Chandler for lunch, he left work and he passed right by the scene. There were all sorts of police, paramedics, and firemen. He said he had a bad feeling because he hadn't been able to reach Bean or his friends, so he left work and came home. It was shortly after he arrived home that Chandler answered a knock at the door. We woke to screams that will never be erased from my mind. I wish I could erase the scene from my mind that night. It was horrific. I remember a sea of flashing lights, police, paramedics, firemen, and yellow caution tape everywhere. Seeing Benjamin's friends sitting on the sidewalk in shock and despair, and seeing the faces of his brothers and his father as they stood in utter shock is a scene I wish I could just wake up from. My beautiful boy, who was just out happily riding his bike with friends, lay in the street in a body bag. I don't remember a lot of the next few days, but we did our best to honor Benjamin with a funeral no parent should have to plan. How could we be looking at caskets and choosing a burial site? We were supposed to be on a family vacation that week. Benjamin had been so excited for that vacation. He was supposed to be on a plane to meet his oldest brother in Oregon. Now his brother was on a plane to bury him. Even with COVID in full effect, there were hundreds of people at the funeral. So many people spoke about what Benjamin meant to them. There were so many beautiful memories of him, and all I could think about was that we shouldn't be here remembering him. He has so many more memories to make, so much life to live. This just can't really be happening. I'm sure I was in a state of shock. When the service ended, we stood at that casket, frozen, unable to move. Seeing my sons, Bean's brothers, walking around and around the casket, unwilling to close it because we knew it would be the last time we would ever see him, broke something so deep in my soul, there's no fixing that. The morning after Benjamin was killed, his killer went to an auto repair shop as soon as it opened and replaced her windshield. She then went to work all day as if nothing had even happened. Meanwhile, our world had been completely shattered. She turned herself in 24 hours after killing him when she stated, "Things got too hot after I saw it on social media." When asked why she replaced her windshield, she told the police that she didn't like the way it looked. After posting bail, and barely 24 hours after killing Benjamin, she and her boyfriend went to Vegas, posting pictures of themselves partying and drinking and toasting. As they partied it up, we were shopping for caskets. It took 2 years for the trial to begin. The whole court system was a mess with COVID. Bean's killer was out on bond and seemed to be living her life as if nothing had happened. Meanwhile, we were in a prison of our own, one we'll never be bonded or paroled from. Dealing with the trauma, anger, and intense sadness of missing Benjamin every single day has changed our lives completely. Having to see the killer and her family in court and the hallways, talking, laughing, and planning where to go eat lunch was excruciating. We were lucky and got an excellent district attorney who pushed for further investigation and really listened to us. Because of that, she was able to add additional charges. We learned in court that besides being drunk and high, Naomi Villado had exchanged 24 texts in the 6 minutes surrounding the crash. In one of her texts, her boyfriend actually accuses her of being drunk. Then there is a gap of 59 seconds in her texting, which is the exact minute in which she struck Benjamin. She sent 2 more texts to her boyfriend after backing up and taking off, and never even mentioned she had hit someone. She never called 911. Sitting in court listening to everything my son suffered and having to hear the 911 calls from his friends has forever changed me. I know there's evil in the world, and I cannot allow myself to think or talk about what we had to see in court. The pain is just too much. On July 13th, 2023, Naomi Renee Villado was sentenced to 9 years in state prison for felony vehicular homicide with gross negligence and felony hit and run resulting in death. My family does not think 9 years is long enough for a person who had 2 prior hit and runs, 2 prior crashes, and multiple speeding tickets. In fact, she was in traffic school when she killed Benjamin. She showed absolutely no remorse in trying to cover up her crimes. Naomi Villado was 23 when she killed Benjamin. This was not an accident. I refuse to call it an accident. It was a series of selfish choices that Bean's killer made that night. Drinking and driving, driving high, texting while driving, those are all choices. And Naomi Villado could have chosen differently that night. You see, the choices she made took so much out of this world. A friend, a nephew, an uncle, a grandson, a brother, and a son. And a soul so compassionate, I'd like to think he had his own special life. 23 is young. Young to be a convicted felon. Young to have killed somebody. Young to have run. And young to have covered up her crimes. But I have no sympathy for how young she was, because 21 is way too young to die. My son was too young to die. When Naomi Villado chose that night to drive intoxicated and to text while driving, she killed Benjamin, that's obvious. But what is not so obvious is that she killed so much more. With the choices she made, she killed our future as well. She took away our future with Benjamin. We will never get to see him go to college or get married or have children. I'll never get to hear him run upstairs asking, "Hey, Mom, what's to eat?" We'll never get to take him to Vegas like we promised to celebrate his 21st birthday. His room sits exactly the way it was, and it always will. Except now, it's empty and cold. I'm so afraid I'll forget his voice. Unfortunately, we have to find a way to go on. Naomi killed a part of each of Bean's 3 brothers. Their lives will never be the same. They live with deep anger, sometimes rage, and the realization they'll not grow old together. Bean's little niece was 3 years old when he was killed. She talks about him less and less now. She doesn't have any new memories with him. She used to ask, "When is Uncle Bean coming back from heaven?" She doesn't ask anymore. Villado destroyed the lives of the 2 friends that were with Benjamin that night. They saw the entire scene, and they can never unsee it. They witnessed the violent and horrific injuries. His best friend held him when he took his last breath, and they were covered in their friend's blood. Naomi Villado has blood on her hands forever. In closing, I know we're not alone in our grief. Sadly, there are too many Bean dips out there, and too many more to come. Too many victims, too many forever broken families and friends. Some probably right here in this room today. May we all make choices not to drive under the influence or to text while driving. May we speak for those who no longer can. May we never forget. His name was Beat, and he mattered. Thank you for your attention today, and I pray you're all safe out there.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you. Thank you to our audience, too. We have one more important speaker I would like to call up to the stage. We have the Riverside CHP Captain, Steve Brancanier, who would like to say a few words.
Thank you all for having me. I appreciate that. Welcome. So my name is Steve Brancanier. I'm the captain of the CHP Riverside area. We share with the Temecula CHP office covering Lake Elsinore. And I get to represent the allied agencies and our department that respond to these types of calls on a regular basis. I never did the Every 15 Minutes program in high school, but I've been a part as an officer, as a captain, but more importantly, I get these fatal crash reports that come across my desk. And it brings me back to, now I've seen more accidents and fatalities and dead bodies than anybody probably ever should. My allied agencies probably test the same thing. But my very first fatality that I took as an officer investigated was a 16-year-old, and her family and her were ejected. They were tired, they fell asleep, so there was no impairment. But what stuck with me was the 16-year-old girl died by herself at a hospital while her family was in another hospital treated, and they had no idea when she passed away. I don't know what that was like when they got that news. But for me, it's always stuck with me. That was 18 years ago. A few years later, the night of March 23rd, going into March 24th, my graveyard partner and I responded to a solo vehicle traffic collision, traffic crash on the northbound 5 freeway in Santa Fe Springs. And if you've ever been on the freeway, a lot of traffic. Granted, this is at night, but there's still a lot of traffic. And we come upon an overturned vehicle and two 18-year-olds. One was fully ejected and landed about 30 feet from his car, and the other one was partially ejected into the back seat. Drugs were involved. But there's an eeriness to being on that freeway. And when you hear liquids dropping from the vehicles, it's a sound you will never, ever forget. Another sound that you'll never forget is when I went with the coroner to make notification to the mom of one of the deceased, and the blood-curdling scream that they don't tell you what that sounds like of a mother. Now I get we may not get along with our parents, but if you can imagine the blood-curdling scream that your mother or your father makes when we tell them that their child, when one of you was involved in an accident because they made a choice, that's something I'll never forget. I can give you statistics, but I'm going to leave you with this because I don't want to take any more of your time. You make a decision because you mean something to somebody. You matter to somebody. I see a young girl resting her head on her friend's shoulder. You mean something to her. And if you make a choice or your friends make a choice, that'll never happen again. So please, you matter to somebody. You mean something to somebody, whether it's your parents, definitely, but your friends, your families, the friends that you will make moving on in the future. So please, make the best choices you can. We don't ever want to see you on the freeway, except driving by. Well, we'll drive by you, you don't drive by us. But we don't ever want to see you at one of those scenes and have to make notification to your parents. But please, if you walk away with anything, yes, this was a simulated incident, but walk away knowing that you mean something to somebody. Remember that, please. I thank you for your time. I thank you for the opportunity to be here with the community of Lakeside High School, with administrators, and as much as he doesn't like him, Officer Javier Navarro, who helped put this together for all of you and all those that participated. Thank you very much.
So I started off by saying I didn't want to thank you for being here. That was part of my act. I am thankful that you're here. I'm thankful that you're still here. I want you all to know just how cared for you all are, how loved you are by us, by the staff here, by the community. I never want to go through this for real with you, please. So we always want you to be safe. We always want you to make great choices in school and beyond. And so a lot of thank yous need to go out to our board, our executive cabinet, CHP, paramedics, first responders, the staff that you could tell by the video how much went into this to hopefully make an impact on your lives. It's already made an impact on my family. I was crying last night talking with... It's not about me. But thank you. Thanks for your maturity in the crowd today. I know it's a lot. Have a great rest of your Friday. Love each other. Be good. And rise up today. Thank you.